Good morning, class 6 students. Students, we are doing chapter 4 of civics, and this is your part 3. The name of the topic is, here we are going to start the topic participation. Students, as you know, we are learning about the apartheid problem, and we are learning how the situations were different. And finally, in the year 1994, the South African government become a South Africa country, become a democratic country. Now the participation. Why do we have a regular elections? You already read in the previous chapter that people make the decision in democracy. Through voting and election, people elect leaders to represent them. These representatives take decisions on the behalf of the people. In doing it is assumed that they will keep in mind the voices and interests of the people. Students, in a democratic government, the people take the decisions, and they vote and they elect the government representatives, and that representatives government form a government, and they take the decision on behalf of the citizens, of the people. All the governments are elected for a fixed period of time. In India, this period is for 5 years. As you know that the government that has been appointed is for a fixed period of time, and in India it is for 5 years. Once elected, government can stay in power only for that period, and the government can be elected. The elected government can run the has a power of only for that period. If they want to continue to be in power, then they have to be re-elected by the people. And if the government want to be continue to want to be in power, they should be re-elected. Means again the voting will be held, and if they want the election, they forms the government, then they are re-elected. This is a moment when people can sense their power in democracy. This is the power of the people in democracy, where people have a right to choose the government. In this way, the power of the government gets limited by regular elections, and the power of the government become limited less as limited for a regular election. On other way of participating, students, we have read about the democracy. Now we are going to read about the monarchy. Elections are usually held once in a 5 year. Beside voting, there are another way of participating in the process of the government. People participate by taking interest in the working of the government and by criticizing it when required. Students, here the people only can participate in the government beside voting also. They participate by taking interest in the working of the government. Some people take interest in the working of the government, like the opposition party, they criticize the government done by the wrong work which is done by the government. In August 2005, when a particular government increases the money people had to pay for electricity, people expressed their disapproval very sharply. They took out rallies and also organized signature campaign. The government tried to explain and defend its decision, but finally listened to the people opinion and withdraw the increase. Withdraw means they take back their step. The government had to change its decision because it was responsible to the people. Students, they are people who beside working voting, the other way of participating in the process of the government is that suppose the government has taken the interest, we can criticize, and that particular interest work is not been actually accepted. They have taken the example of the case on August 2005, when the government increases the money pay bill of electricity. People express their disapproval sharply. People express that this is wrong done by the government, and they took the form of rallies, organized the signature campaign. The government tried to explain and defend this decision. The government explains a lot, but finally, the people opinion was won, and the government withdrew the decision of increasing prices, electricity prices. The government had to change its decision because it is responsible to the people, because it was a democratic government, and here the decisions are taken for the benefit of the people, for the development of the people. So because of this responsible government, democratic government is always accountable to the people. That's why the decision is being taken back by the government. There are many ways in which people express their views and make government understand. Government understand what action they should take. These include dharnas, rallies, strikes, signature campaigns. Students, here the people can express their view for understanding the government through the rallies, strikes, signature campaign. Things that are unfair and just are not brought forward and are also brought forward. The things which the governments do which are unfair or unjust through the newspaper, magazines, TV also play a discussing government issues and responsibilities through these channels, through these like rallies, strikes, dharnas, signature campaign. We can show our action of unjust and unfair done by the people, by the government, and it can be brought forward through the newspaper, magazines, and TV channels also. If a country peoples are alert and interested in how the country is running, the democratic characteristics of the government of that country will be stronger. So, students, while it is true that the democratic people allow people to participate, it is also true that not all the section of the peoples are actually able to do so. Another way of people to participate and organize themselves in a social movement. Some people carry out the social movement to seek challenge the government functioning, members of the majority community, minority communities such as Dalit, Adivasi, women, and other are often able to participate in this manner. Students, sometimes the movement taken by the take the step of social movement which challenges the government. The communities like minority communities like Dalits, Adivasis, women, and other participate in this manner. If a country people are alert and interested in how the country is run, the democratic characteristics of the government of that country will be stronger. Students, it is only because the people are aware and alert and interested in what the country government is doing. Then the democratic character means the government for the people will become stronger. So the next time we see a rally winding their streets for our cities and towns in our villages, we should pause to find out. Pause means we should stop there and find out what is the reason why the rally is about, what the rally is about, who is participating in it, and what they are protesting about. This will help us to give a sense of how our country government works. Students, if we see a real rally in our town, we should find out the causes why they are participating, what is the reason for their protesting. That will give us a sense of how our government is working. Clear class? Hope you have understood. Thank you.